see. However, today we'll have some small recall, okay, of about the last session. Okay, so last session we were discussing about the introduction of this lesson, right? So we'll have some small recall for this. Structural organization of the animals, Unit 13 that we were seeing last session, right? So what are the five kingdoms of classification generally? Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia, right? So we were seeing the plant kingdom in last session about the plant anatomy, plant physiology, and especially double membrane, double walled membrane, the cell organelles such as chloroplast, mitochondria. We were seeing all those things in the plant kingdom. Right. And now we are going to see the animal kingdom. In animal kingdom, the structural organization of the animals. Okay. So why to study about the structure and levels of organization in animals? Because you can start your career in veterinary, pharmaceutical, zoologist, chemical technology industry. Okay, so there are a young number of openings. Okay, for this course. Okay, so if you know about the structure and levels of organization, then you may go and start your career in the following places, right? So first of all, before we go into this, in last ninth standard, we would have discussed about the classification of the organism, right? So classification of kingdom Animalia, we have more than thousand species of animals. So how we can able to memorize all those names or keep in our mind all those animals only by classification. Okay, so we are just classifying the animals based on their fundamental features. What are the fundamental features? Maybe based on the symmetry, based on the coelom or a body cavity, okay, and phylum. Okay, so this is will be considered as an level of organization. Okay, so step by step, how the levels of organization is increasing based on the features they have. Okay, so thus the classification of organism that has been brought in the order of kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Okay, so this will be the constant criteria for the classification of the organism. You understood? Yes. So we were studying all these in animal kingdom in ninth standard, right? So see, and after that classification chordata that can be classified into three types: subphylum Urochordata, subphylum Cephalochordata, subphylum Vertebrata. That can be in turn divided into vertebrate without jaws, with jaws. Everything we studied in ninth standard. And invertebrate with jaws, it's been classified into class Thesis, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Apes, and class Mammalia. So in class Mammalia, we saw the example rabbit and man. You know very much that why I'm stressing out the rabbit and the man, because we are going to see the example, especially one of the example in our book, in our lesson now. Okay, so these are the things we just went through. We were studying in the ninth standard. So what we are going to see in this chapter, okay, if you see in this chapter means we are going to discuss about the invertebrata and vertebrata. In invertebrate, we are going to study about the Hereditaria granulosa, that is the leech, the biological name of leech. Okay, so an invertebrate, we are going to study about the rabbit. You know very well that why I stressed earlier that in the class Mammalia, example, rabbit and man, out of this we are going to study one organism I told, right? So we are going to study in leech in invertebrate and rabbit in vertebrate. The biological name for leech is Hereditaria granulosa and biological name for rabbit is Oryctolagus cuniculus. Okay. So this is the taxonomic position of the Hereditaria granulosa. So phylum, it comes under phylum Annelida and class Hereditaria, order Gnathodelida, genus Hereditaria, and species granulosa. Okay, so G is silent here. pronouncing this name as Naphtobdelida. So there are so many invertebrate, but why we particularly study about leeches in our lesson? You may have the question in yourself, Machi, there are so many invertebrate, but why we are discussing about the leeches in our lesson? Leeches are effective in increasing the blood circulation. Okay, so the leeches are effective in increasing the blood circulation and breaking of the blood clots. Okay, and they are used to treat cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular means heart related diseases. Okay, so how it can be, the chemicals that is derived from leech saliva have made into pharmaceutical drugs. Okay, because it is anti-inflammatory, anticoagulant, analgesic. Okay, like an anesthesia. Exactly, it's an anesthesia. Okay, it works as an anesthesia. Right. So recent research based on this leeches has been encoded with medicinal leech therapy, MLT. They will say. In earlier, they tell it as. Define that one as a heredotherapy. Okay, so that is technique has been or possible effects on various diseases such as inflammatory diseases. And also heredotherapy is used in veterinary medicine also, in the field of veterinary medicine also. Okay, so see how important this leech is. So coming to the morphology of the leech. So we are going to study about the morphology. You can find the leech. Where and all you can see the leech? At most in world level, we can see in the densely forest. Exactly, densely forest in the sense, which forest? It's an Amazon forest. And in India, we can see in northeastern side, hilly region. Okay, swamps. Swamps in Tamil, they'll say it as right? Okay, so Marai Kadigal. Okay, so rainy forest and the swamps, pond, river, lakes, you can see n number of species of leeches. Okay, so how about the food for these leeches? This is ectoparasitic. Ectoparasitic, it feed on blood of fishes, frogs, cattle, human, and sanguivorous. Sanguivorous. Okay, we have heard about the herbivorous, omnivorous, carnivorous. What about the sanguivorous? It's nothing but the generally its nature itself, blood sucking. Okay, it will suck the blood from the what where it is dependent. Okay, it suck the blood of other living or it is being called as sanguivorous. Okay, coming to the shape and size, it is very soft, vermiform. In phylum Annelida, we have studied about earlier earthworm, right? So we read lot about the earthworm, the backbone of agriculture. Okay, we have read lot about the earthworm in 9th standard itself. So same in phylum Annelida, we are reading out the different, another organism that is a leech. So same species, same characteristics it also has. It's like soft, vermiform, elongated, segmented, ribbon-shaped, cylindrical, and it will grow at most 35 centimeter. Okay, how many centimeter? 35 centimeter. Okay, so it possesses two colors. And saying to the color, dorsal side it has a olive green. Dorsal means upper side. And ventral side it has a orange yellow or orange red. Okay, ventral side it has orange yellow or orange red. Okay, so coming to the segmentation, it has 33 segments. How many segments it has? 33 segments. So those 33 segments are made up of rings or annuli and temporary clitellum formed which produce cocoon during the breeding season. Okay, so with this and all we'll discuss in today's slide. Okay, so and also it has on the dorsal side 5 pairs of sensory projection, that is eyes. Okay, so 5 pairs of sensory projection on the dorsal side, an annual receptor on the each annulus and segmental receptor on the first annulus. See, you can see the visible and dot spots, no, that is your segmental receptors on the first annulus, and minute spots will be there. Inside that one is annular receptor. Okay, so this one is anterior side and this one is the posterior side. Both you may have the sucker. Okay, so on the ventral side, you can see the mouth. See here. Yes. Okay. So this is what we saw, and based on the video also we saw, and what are the external apertures you can see. Okay, so apertures means what are the openings can be seen in the leeches. It has suckers, mouth, anus, nephridiophores, male genital pore in 10th segment and female genital pore 11th segment. Okay, so these are all we saw. Then so now we are going to study about the body wall of the leeches, locomotion, digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system, excretory system, reproductive system, and parasitic adaptation. So here, till where we saw in last class, where we saw the body wall, right? Locomotion over, digestive system over. So now we are going to study about the respiratory system. So we'll go before, before we start this respiratory system, we'll just have some short glance about this body wall, locomotion, and digestive system. Okay, to recollect, right? So body wall, I told you already 5 layers, right? So what are the 5 layers? Epidermis. Next to the cuticle, it is the epidermis. And next to the epidermis, it has dermis. And next to the dermis, it has muscular layer. How will be the muscular layer? It's circular and longitudinal muscles. Circular and longitudinal muscles. And immediately next to this muscular layer, what are the tissues is present? Botryoidal tissue. What are the tissue? Botryoidal tissue. Okay, so that tissue only it will fill what? The entire coelom. Okay, body cavity. Will tell no the body cavity around the gut. Okay, gut region. Okay, so these are the 5 layers we saw. And in locomotion, 2 types of locomotion that each can do. What is the 2 type of locomotion? One is the looping or crawling movement. Another is a swimming movement. The crawling movement means it will crawl in the substratum. Substratum means base. Okay, floor. Okay, rough surface. That is said to be the substratum. And swimming movement possible only in water. Okay, undulating movement they will say. Okay, so that is what the 2 types of locomotion. Dear children, don't scribble on the screen. Yes, so now we are going to see about the digestive system. Just small recall. We already saw this. Anyhow, we'll just have some small recall. Okay, so this digestive system comprises of the alimentary canal and digestive glands. See, this is the alimentary canal. Alimentary canal. Okay, so where it starts from? Of course, it starts from mouth. So what it has? That mouth has triradiate aperture. Okay, triradiate aperture, 3 jaws with a single row of minute teeth. Yeah. So 3 jaws with a single row of minute teeth. So the jaws are provided with what? Small hairy-like structure called papillae. Okay. After this, that will leads to the pharynx, which is opening to the salivary glands. Angadan, the salivary glands, what it will secrete? It secrete hirudin, saliva, secrete a saliva called hirudin. You understood? Yes. So followed by this esophagus, crop. I told you no, crop is the largest part of alimentary canal. Okay, so crop is the largest part of alimentary canal. At most, it has 10 portions. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 portions of crop is there. Okay, so this is the largest part of the alimentary canal. Following the crop, you have the water, intestine, stomach. This one is the stomach. Okay, and intestine, rectum, and finally it opens to the exterior anus. Okay, so it is in the posterior region. So now you understood, no? Yeah. So see this video. See 5 pairs of sensory vision, eyes. The pharynx, The pharynx is followed by the crop chambers. See, this is the largest part of alimentary canal. Okay. And that is followed by the stomach. See, this one is the stomach, followed by intestine. And this is the side one. Side you can see, no, those tube is said to be the cecum. Okay. And rectum and followed by the anus. So the anus is located at the posterior sucker. Okay. So see, this is the mouth and sucker. Through this only it will suck the blood. See, three. We read about triradiate. No, triradiate. Why? See, because see a triangular structure. It's there. Triradiate opening. Okay, so this is the mouth. Okay, this could be the mouth. So I told you, no, the buccal cap. Jaws. See the jaws here. And I told you, no, minute teeth. See, minute teeth present on three jaws. Okay. So these are all we saw in last class. So external feature, where is in which segment the which part is located. So for example, posterior sucker, it is located in the 27th between 27th and 33rd segment. Pharynx, which is located between 5th and 8th segment. Okay, so this is in your book itself, this tabulation. Yeah. So this is what we saw in last class. Today, we are going to see the respiratory system followed by the digestive system. So, second second session, we are going to see about the structural organization of the animals. Okay, so in this, what we are going to see now, respiratory system. So, what we saw already, it's a digestive system. Yes. Okay, so now we are going to see the respiratory system. Respiration in leech, how it takes place? It takes place through skin. It takes place through skin. Tiny network of blood vessels called capillaries are present in it. Okay, so it has a tiny network of blood vessels called capillaries. Through this through this capillaries only, what we'll have, the exchange of gases takes place, right? Yes. Yes. So the exchange of gases, that is in taking of the oxygen and diffusing out of the carbon dioxide. Okay, so the exchange of gases takes place in the form of diffusion. So since it don't have any lungs for respiration, so how it will do this exchange of gases process? Only in the form of diffusion. Okay, so diffusion means what? The oxygen dissolves in the water and diffuses through hemolytic fluid. So the organism has what fluid? Hemolytic fluid. Okay, so hemolytic fluid. Thus, carbon dioxide diffuse out through moist skin. Okay, so this carbon dioxide, what it will do? It will diffuse out through moist skin. So that thus oxygen comes inside and carbon dioxide is being let out. Okay, so this is what the respiratory system. Okay, then we'll see about the circulatory system. So circulation by hemolytic system. Okay, hemo means what? Blood. Okay, so the blood circulation system. So there is no true blood vessel. That's why it is called what? Hemolytic. Okay, so there is no true blood vessel. So it has hemolytic channels. Okay, so it has hemolytic channel. How in our heart, four chambers are present. Likewise, in leech, four longitudinal channels are present. How many channels are present? 4 longitudinal channels are present. One channel side, one channel in the ventral side, and two channels on the lateral side. Understood? So how many channels are present? Like in our body, we call it as chamber, right? So here in the leech, we have 4 longitudinal channels, one channel on the dorsal side, one channel on the ventral side, two channels on the lateral side. All these 4 channels combined together at which segment? In the 26th segment of the leech. You understood? 26th segment, it will combine together. So this is all about the circulatory system. And coming to the nervous system. Okay, see here. The picture is given in your book itself. There is a central nerve ring with a paired ventral cord. Okay, central nerve ring. Okay, see here, central nerve king, paired ventral cord. Okay, the nerve ring that is being around the pharynx and it forms what? Suprapharyngeal ganglion, where the messages had been sent to the entire body. Okay, so that is especially known as the brain. Okay, suprapharyngeal ganglion. Okay, see here. So here, the ventral nerve cord. Central cord is said to be the ventral nerve cord. And you can find out the ganglion. Okay. And paired. It has a paired cords. Okay. So, see here. So this is all about the nervous system. So if you see this nervous system, circulatory system, respiratory system, these are the points that is being given in your book.